They are called undocumented, irregular, unauthorized, illegal immigrants. And there are no accurate figures representing the number or composition of them in countries like the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, and other countries. And with the economic challenges all over the world at this time, many countries are cracking down and deporting people who are living illegally in their countries. These stories have become rampant and we hear of them every day. But is it worth it to live illegally in any country?
Retired newsagent Nelson Shadi is now facing a fight to remain in the UK.
Nelson first emigrated to the UK from Ghana in 1977, and despite spending the last 5 decades raising a family, paying taxes, performing jury service, the Home Office have now informed him he isn't a British citizen.
There is a scenario where he could get deported.
Hello everyone, my name is Kola. Welcome back to this side of life. And if you're new here, welcome and thank you all for joining me today. Wow, I found that story really incredible. This is somebody who has lived in the UK for almost 50 years and they've done so many things. They've had a business, grew their family, they bought a house, got a mortgage, and yet they are still considered illegal. And now, who knows what is going to happen to that man? He's almost 80 years old and now he has to figure out how to stay in the UK. It didn't matter how many years he has stayed or whatever he has done for the community, like we heard in that clip, he was still illegal and he wasn't considered to be a citizen. He can't even go out and come back into the UK after 50 whole years. Yet, this issue of people being illegal in different countries has become like almost an epidemic. I mean, look at the US and the number of immigrants that come from south of the border into the US every single year. I read somewhere that right now in the US there are over 10 million undocumented immigrants in the US. And even in Canada, people are coming in and seeking asylum, and because there are so many of them coming in, the system is not able to handle the numbers, and we see them sleeping on the streets in tents and just in dire conditions. This might even be people who are comfortable wherever they were coming from, and they come into Canada seeking asylum and they have to go through all this undignified treatment just because they are coming into the country without the legal papers that they need. You know, sometimes I think, is it that people are ignorant or, they don't know what it means to have an illegal status in a country, or is it that they are just not wise? Let us know in the comment section below. Why do you think people even consider coming into another country without legal papers? Being an immigrant is challenging enough because you are in a new country, you're trying to get your feet, you're probably starting all over again and everything is new and you have to figure things out for yourself and work harder than most people just to get the same results. If it is that difficult for somebody that has come in as a legal immigrant, then how much worse would it be for somebody who is coming in as an immigrant and is illegal, right? And you are illegal if, for example, you come in as a student or a visitor and your visa has expired and you stay on after your visa has expired, or you come in seeking asylum, or you come in without the right documentation to be in the country. So today, I just wanted to talk about some of the things that you can expect if you come into a country, for example, Canada, as an illegal immigrant, because I feel like maybe people don't really know that, or people are just ignoring it. And also what you might consider doing instead. So if you come in illegally into any country, for example, Canada, you can expect that you will have no right to work. So people come into Canada illegally and they expect that they will be able to work. To be able to work in Canada, you have to have something that is called the social insurance number. And that is a number that every employer is supposed to ask from you whenever you are employed to work for them. If you don't have your social insurance number, then you're not able to work. And if you do find work, then you will be exploited, because then you will be working under the table, like they call it, not declaring your income because you are not really legally allowed to work. That means that employers, whoever employs you, is doing so at their own risk, and also they will not pay you your fair wage. because they don't have any obligation to pay you your fair wage because you are not legal and you don't have the legal papers to work. So that is the number one thing. You are not going to be able to work as legal residents of Canada because you pay your taxes. You are able to get free healthcare from the government. If you are not legal, then you cannot get free healthcare. You will have to pay for your healthcare. And we all know how expensive healthcare is. So that's another thing that you can expect if you come in illegally. You will also not have access to social welfare services, like, for example, childcare benefits for people who have children. There are certain government organizations that support you, that help you to find a job, to get integrated into the Canadian society and things like that. You will not be able to take advantage of those services because they will ask you for your documentation. And I imagine that that is the same in other countries as well, that if you want to access government services, you need to have some kind of identification that shows that you are legally in the country. If you are getting any value from this video, this is the time for you to hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up. This really helps to grow the channel and get the message out to more people. Thank you very much. About Mr. Nelson from the UK, it was only after almost 50 years that he was now wanting to go and bury his mom and needed a passport and couldn't get one because they found out that he wasn't a citizen. He wasn't even a legal he wasn't even a legal resident of the UK. You will not be able to travel because, I mean, if you go out, you are not going to be able to come back in because you have overstayed your visa or you don't have the legal documentation to come back in. And the loss of dignity, like, you know, you want to be in a place and be sure that you have some rights as a resident, like those people that were outside on the pavement, in the tent, because really they don't have any legal standing and so they can be treated anyhow. That's the one that I don't know how people cope. And the most important one is the peace of mind. You do not have peace of mind if you are illegal in a country because you are always looking behind your back. You are always wondering whether somebody will come and report you or somebody will catch you or the police will barge into your house or, you know, many stories that we hear that, you know, people are gathered together in a party and for whatever reason the police is called and immediately people hear the police, they disappear because they do not have the right papers. For how long do you want to be living in fear and anxiety about when you are going to be caught and deported? Because most countries will deport illegal immigrants when they are found out to be illegal. Even though I know, for example, in Canada, the process takes a long time, but at the end of the day, there is always that risk of deportation. Just like that Mr. Nelson in the UK, after almost 50 years, he is facing the possibility of deportation. This is where he has lived for almost all of his life, and yet he doesn't have any standing there. So, having said all this, do you think it is worth it to be an illegal immigrant in any country? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I personally don't think it is worth it. Unless you are a refugee fleeing war or conflict from your country and you didn't have a choice and you had to flee, it is not worth being illegal in any country. So if you have the resources to do that, to travel to another country, then you should try as much as possible to make sure that you do it in the legal way. That you go legally, you stay there legally, and you leave when your legal stay ends. If you must travel, I think there are many places that you can go to. It doesn't have to be North America, it doesn't have to be Europe, it doesn't have to be Australia or any of these popular places. There are many places that you can travel to. You know, do your research. Find out. There is so much information these days. We have ChatGPT and such AI that can make your search easier to find out where you can go and stay legally and build a decent life instead of being an illegal immigrant or an illegal resident. Put in the work, do the research. Some places that come to my mind include Asia. There are many people that are going to Asia, countries in Asia. There are countries in the Middle East that people are going to. Even in Africa, you can go to other countries in Africa if you're looking for different opportunities, different experiences. There are so many options. You don't have to go to that place where you are not welcome or where you will get there and you will be illegal. There are many programs that different countries have for admitting people into their country that are legal. I mean, one of the reasons why I came to Canada way back then, 25 years ago, because they had this process that you could follow. You know, the point system, you could rate yourself, know whether you qualify or not, and then apply to come in as a permanent resident of Canada. And that program is still going on now. Many people know about the Express Entry program, the provincial nominee program, the student route, so many legal ways by which you can come into Canada and other countries as well. So do your research, put in the work, and like I always say, everybody's path in life is different. Don't look at somebody else's life to run your own life. Because somebody went to one country or the other doesn't mean that you have to go to that country. You can chart your own path, find your own path and follow it. And you know, we really cannot do all these things by ourselves. Life is so overwhelming that we need God's help. And I always say it also in this channel, you need to trust in God, you need to pray to God so that God can help you in all your endeavors, in all your plans and all your aspirations. And like the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge Him and He will direct your paths. And so let us trust God so that He can direct our paths. Let us not even consider going into another country as an illegal immigrant. That's my 2 cents for today. Thank you so much for joining me again. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I upload new videos. Also, stay tuned to this channel for much more interesting content coming your way. Until I come your way again, until the next video, you go out and make it the best days of your life. Bye!